What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. Happy Sunday. So we're going to recap, right? Split squad today. The Yankees played 2 games, one against the Pittsburgh Pirates, one against the Tampa Bay Rays. They lost one and they won one. We saw some bright spots in both games. And I want to give you my 7 bold predictions for MLB season 2025. Okay? Yesterday I did my 7 bold predictions for the Yankees. If you haven't seen that, go take a look on my YouTube. Okay? And I want to know what your thoughts are. And same thing for you. I'm on both platforms here. I'm on YouTube and I'm on TikTok right now. So shout out to everybody on both. Let's hit the like buttons on the YouTube. Let's keep tapping the screen on the TikToks as well. I greatly appreciate it. So NFE. Yo, brother. What's going on, everybody? So first game, they took a 4-3 loss. They almost came back in 9th inning against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Okay. Cam Schlittler is one of the highly touted pitching prospects. He threw 4 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, and 4 strikeouts. He looked pretty solid. He got into the 5th inning. So he looked pretty good. This is one of the guys that I would keep an eye out for as a guy that could potentially make his way into the Yankees at some point this year. He's a highly touted pitching prospect. So Trent Grisham went deep. Dom Smith went deep in the 9th inning. It was 4-2, and they almost came back. Dom Smith, and then Austin Wilson hit a double, and Cody Bellinger also hit a double as well. So the bats, consistent, right? And the guys, this first game, about 2/3 of the lineup, I think, is going to be the starting lineup for this Yankees team this year. The second game against the Tampa Bay Rays were guys that I think are fighting for roster spots here, right? Looking to make this team either as a bench player or either as a starter. So Brandon Liebrandt, left-handed pitcher, he threw 3 1/3, hit 3 hits. He gave up 4 runs, but it was only one of them was earned. There were quite a few errors early in the game that the Yankees made. 3 walks and a strikeout. And Sean Boyle, one of the other Yankees touted prospects, so went 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Only threw 30 pitches in 4 innings. So he was very, very efficient. Okay. And then Ben Rice went deep. Oswaldo Cabrera went deep, and Jason Dominguez went deep. So we had a lot of home runs today across the board in both games. And then Cole Gabrielson hit a double. Alex Jackson, backup catcher, was 1 for 3. J.C. Escara also got a backup catcher, 1 for 2. So I gotta be honest with you. Like, I really don't know. The Yankees are gonna have a couple of tough decisions to make over the next week and a half or so as to who's gonna make this team. Really, it's going to be a fascinating one to figure out. I really don't know who the bench is going to be. And I don't know. I mean, do you go with Dominguez in the outfield? I know he's one of the younger rookies, but he's been kind of streaky with his bat. He's been terrible with his defense. Or you go with somebody who's average with the bat right now, Trent Grisham, and who's elite on defense. What do? Do you still give Dominguez time to grow and platoon him with Trent Grisham? That way they both get more playing time? I don't know. I really don't know the answer. Okay. And then you got guys like Ismael Munguia, who's also hitting the ball extremely well. And like these guys, Munguia, Pablo Reyes, right? Like some of these other guys are, Andrew Velasquez, Yorba Vivas, they're giving all the Yankee players like Oswaldo Cabrera and Oswald Peraza a run for their money. They really, really, really are. So it's going to be really, really fascinating to see who makes this team right now. Really, really fascinating. But this is a good problem to have. We haven't had a problem like this in a while, where generally they had the positions decided already, and really not much competition that was going to be worthy of, putting the starting player potentially in jeopardy or in competition. We have that this year, which is good. So that excites me as a fan. I hope it excites you as a fan too. But my first prediction, my bold prediction for MLB season for 2025 is O'Neal Cruz. Sorry, no, excuse me. Ellie De La Cruz, excuse me. Ellie De La Cruz from Cincinnati Reds gets a triple-double. Goes 30, 30, 30. 30 home runs, 30 steals, and 30 doubles. He kind of really puts it together as a complete player and solidifies himself as a superstar this year. 30, 30, 30 is my first prediction. Ellie De La Cruz. Which I think is very, very, very possible. Okay, now going back to the Yankee bench, I do think J.C. Escara has solidified himself. I agree with you, Effie. Rice, Grisham, could be Smith, or could be I don't know. That's the thing. Like, I don't know. And then you have Dom Smith, like Dom Smith and Rice. Yeah. I mean, that's a good looking bench right there. And if that's a really, really good looking bench. So, and like a JC Escarra can also get DH at bats while Austin Wells is catching. But when Austin Wells maybe gets a day off for DHs, and JC Escarra can catch. So, and then you could also play Ben Rice in a day. Let's just say first base, you give Goldschmidt a day off and the catcher a day off. You got, Dom Smith or Ben Rice and JC Escarra here. So they could fill lots of spots. And then you're like, what do you do with Everson Pereira? What do you do with Oswaldo Cabrera, Oswald Peraza? Like, this is a tough decision. This is a tough decision. And do any of these guys become trade bait in the last week or so? The Yankees are looking at an arm. I mean, they've inquired in the last 2 days directly to the Padres about Dylan Cease. We don't know how far it's going to get, but whether a trade's going to happen, but they're looking into it. Okay, that's all I can say right now. They're not leaking anything. I'm not leaking anything, but that's the reporting I'm hearing. And I'm also hearing from somebody actually who works with the team. So we'll see. We'll see. And they're looking for a right-handed bat who can play infield and outfield. I mean, this is what tells me that they're not sold on Oswald Peraza, not sold on Oswaldo Cabrera. On all due respect to these guys, I wish the bench was a 5-man bench or a 6-man bench. So that goes, that's what it is. My second prediction is the Chicago White Sox, the dreadful Chicago White Sox, who released Joey Gallo today, by the way, are going to win 15 to 20 more games this year than they did last year. They're going to go from suck to stink. Okay? Well, they'll be probably 10 games under 500, something like that. I think they're going to be better this year than they would. Now, if they move Luis Robert at some point, I think they'll get more prospects, which will accelerate the rebuild too. So that's my second pick, my second prediction. Okay. I could see Schlittler getting a few starts. I could see a guy like Sean Boyle getting some play too. So there are some arms here who I can see getting play for the Yankees. Okay. Keep tapping that screen, everybody on TikTok too. Greatly appreciate you. So yeah, it is a step up, Susan. I don't know how big of a step up, but you're going from the basement to the subflooring or something like that. So, but any step up is a step up for the White Sox. That's prediction number 2. Prediction number 3 is Max Scherzer has a late career revival with the Blue Jays. I think he's actually going to have a pretty good year with the Blue Jays. Scherzer. That's prediction number 3. Okay. And again, let me know what your thoughts are on this. If you have any predictions of your own, put them in the comments, either on TikTok or on YouTube. Okay? That's prediction 3. Prediction 4, Cincinnati Reds, they make the playoffs under Tito. And I do think they're going to wind up batting probably J.D. Martinez. He's already apparently in preliminary discussions with the Reds. So, and there's a spot for him there. So it's just something to keep. It's not connected to TikTok, my StreamYard. And if I don't know how to do that, actually, I just have my phone open with my TikTok. So that's how I'm doing it right now. I haven't figured it out how to do it yet. All right, we got 26 likes on the YouTube. We got 300 and plus hearts on the TikTok right now. So keep snacking them up. Once I figure it out, and if I will keep. I will definitely let you know. But that's the way I'm doing it right now because I am not tech savvy. So that's prediction number 4. Cincinnati Reds make the playoffs. Prediction 5. This is probably going to be my hot take. Roki Sasaki outpitches Yoshinobu Yamamoto at the Dodgers this year. Sasaki outpitches Yamamoto. Got to get a Dodgers hot take on here. I could see something like that happening. I'm not saying he's going to be Cy Young worthy or Ace worthy, but I think he's going to outpitch him. So, Brandon, your prediction, Juan Soto has his worst season. I know a lot of Yankee fans would like that. Would really like that. So, predict the Red Sox and the Yankees will battle for first until last game. Yeah, I agree, Rock Up. And like I said yesterday, I think the Yankees are going to probably win the division only by half a game or a game. No, they're not cooked this season. I don't know where you came up with that one, but okay. Not cooked. That was prediction 5. Prediction 6. The Arizona Diamondbacks beat the Dodgers in the ALCS to get to the World Series. So the Dodgers get to the ALCS and then they to the Diamondbacks. I think the Diamondbacks, with the additions of Josh Naylor and Corbin Burns, I think they're going to take the next step. They go with that young, dynamic nucleus over there. I think they're going to be the National League candidate to get to the World Series. And again, I'm going to give my updated predictions once the trade deadline happens later on the season. Once we have a better idea of who's going to be added to certain teams and so on and so forth, I'll go and updated late season predictions as well. Things might change. Okay. Excuse me, NLCS, Justin. NLCS, not ALCS. Okay. So I think they're going to be eliminated by the Diamondbacks. And then my last prediction is Mike Trout and Ronald Acuna, who have had a lot of injuries over the last couple of years. They both play at least 140 games. So they stay healthy for the most part. And they both have a pretty good season. I think Acuna is going to be part of a very stout what's good, Hector? What's good, Heck? Very stout team, Braves team. And I think Trout's going to be putting himself in, again, in MVP discussions this year, like he always does. When he plays close to a full season, he's always in MLB discussion and MVP discussion. So it is both. And they haven't played that many games. Yeah, and they haven't played that many. So that's, I think, yeah. That was one of my predictions yesterday, Alex. I think Fried's going to win 15 games, and Devin Williams is going to save 30 this year. The Yankees. Those are one of my Yankees predictions. So, and I do think the healthy teams are going to be the Braves and the Texas Rangers in the American League. Even though John Gray, pitcher, suffered a fractured wrist yesterday, Jacob deGrom is back. Even though they lost Max Scherzer, I still think they're going to be contenders. They got Jack Leiter coming up, Kumar Rocker coming up. So I think they're going to be sneaky good, just like the Atlanta Braves. When healthy, the Atlanta Braves were bludgeoned with injuries last year. I think they're both going to be sneaky good. I really, really, really do. So those are my 7 predictions. Do I think the Mets play? I don't know yet. I really don't know. I mean, I think they're going to have – I don't think it's going to be easy to beat the Phillies and the Braves in the NL East. I don't think it's going to be that easy. So, yeah, well, Susan, that's a good question for Dylan Cease. I mean, he only has 1 year left on his contract, so there's no way I'm giving up George Lombard or Spencer. There's no way. So I know they're inquiring, and that's probably going to be the ask, but there's no way Cashman's going to give up those guys for 1 year of Dylan Cease. No. The Brewers. I'm gonna say, I wouldn't be surprised. The Brewers are actually pretty good. I could see the Brewers. I mean, even though they lost Willie Adames to the Giants, I could still see them playing pretty well because they got Big Daddy Nestor Cortez and Big Daddy Caleb Durbin now. The Brewers. So that's it. That's good. So nothing yet paranormal. No news right now that I know of. Yeah. So like that cup, that's that Yankees cup, baby. That's that Yankees cup, man. Drink my ice water, man. Gotta keep fluids, man. Was in a pool a little while ago. Did my swimming. No. Let's go. But those are my predictions, my 7 predictions. Okay. Now for those that were late, I'll repeat them again. O'Neill, number 1, O'Neill, Ellie De La Cruz, excuse me, goes 30-30-30. 30 homers, 30 steals, 30 doubles. Okay. The triple double right there. Judge, nice, Stephen B. I love the Judge shot class. Prediction 2. Chicago White Sox win 15 to 20 more games this year. This coming in than they did in 2024. Number 3, Max Scherzer has a late career revival with the Blue Jays. He has a good year with the Blue Jays. Keeps them in maybe wild card mode And especially since they didn't trade Bo, and they still have Vlad. So with the ad of Scherzer, I would keep my eyes out on the Blue Jays just in case. Number 4 is Cincinnati Reds make the playoffs. I think they're going to win the Central, and I think they get in the playoffs. Number 5 is probably my hot take is Roki Sasaki outpitches Yoshinobu Yamamoto from the Dodgers. He's the better Japanese pitcher from the Dodgers. Okay. Number 6, the Arizona Diamondbacks eliminate the Dodgers in the NLCS and go to the World Series. So the Diamondbacks go to the World Series, not the Dodgers. And then number 7, Mike Trout and Ronald Acuna play probably upwards of 140 games. If they come in late, 130 games, which is a hell of a lot more than they've recently played anyway. But they play they play at least 3/4 of the season, both of them. So those are my 7 predictions for these guys. So if you have any predictions, put them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. So, do I think the Padres? That's a good question. Other than the Padres, I mean, it's definitely within their reach, the Padres. But the NL West is going to be tough. Padres, the Dodgers, and even the Giants. I'm not sleeping on the Giants either, and the Diamondbacks as well. So that's going to be a really tough. It's probably going to be the division of baseball this year, the NL West. So, but I think the Cincinnati Reds are going to take the Central. I think that the ads that they made to the team with the new manager Tito Francona, I think it's going to be a good fit. I think it's going to be a really good fit. So, yeah, I saw that Ben Hess pitched really well, and even Bryce Cunningham was getting some love too. Their 2 first picks last year, first and second round. Ben Hess from I think the University of Arkansas, and Bryce Cunningham from Vanderbilt. 2 SEC pitchers. And SEC is the premier conference in baseball right now, just like it is in football. So, we'll see. Oh, yeah, Florida beats St. John. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, but I could see St. John's making a little bit of a run here. I could see St. John's making a little run with Rick Pitino in March Madness. That's what I'm rooting for. And Duke, I mean, Cooper Flagg now is hurt. He rolled his ankle the other day, so I don't know how well he's going to be for the next run. I mean, Duke was a Final Four favorite. Now they might not be with Cooper Flagg potentially out. So, you want that there? Yeah, Graham, you're right about that. If they want to get seats, they're going to have to give up something we don't want. Depends on what that person or what that player is or who that player is. So, how do I think the NL East will shape out? I think it's going to be. I mean, it's going to be a 3-team race, just like the NL West, between the Phillies, the Braves, and the Mets. And again, I will do an updated predictions once the trade deadline happens, because these teams, especially if it's a tight race, I expect some of these teams to add pieces, and then who that piece is going to be will help me kind of formulate the updated predictions at that point too. So that one I'm looking forward to. That one I'm very much looking forward to. What's good, everybody? On TikTok, keep tapping that screen. We are at 9 or 800 and almost 700, 800 likes over there. Whew, man. Unbelievable. The activity. Yeah. Ukarnaseka. This is a really, really, really good St. John's basketball team. Rick Pitino has really taken them to the next level. He's brought them back. He's brought the Red Storm back to the point when they used to be the Red Men, right? So, the Pirates, the Pirates they look kind of sneaky good too. With Paul Skeens and some of the ads. Yeah, I mean, some of the ads that they've made too. I think the NL Central is going to be wide open, and it could be between the Reds, the Cubs, who could be led by Kyle Tucker and Dansby Swanson, some of these guys, and a team like the Pirates. So I think it's going to be a really tight race in a couple of divisions. Godfather. Yeah, so seriously. This is what's fun about, to me, about baseball, right? The competitive, race in each of these divisions. It's going to be several divisions. Generally, it's usually like one division that's like way beyond other divisions. But this year, we've got a couple of divisions that are super tight. But the behemoth division, I think, is the NL West this year. I really do. So, but like I said, I've said it since the beginning. I'm not just handing the Dodgers the division. I'm not just handing the Dodgers the championship. A lot of fans are just giving him the repeat. Not me. Not me. Leave the gun, take the cannolis. That's straight up Godfather right there, baby. Yeah. I gotta go take a leak. He goes out and leave the gun, take the cannoli. That's the scene. Taking a leak, shooting the guy in the head, and taking a cannoli. Fantastic scene. Fantastic scene. Ah, Clemenza. Ah. Volpe will come around, and he hit the ball to the warning track. He hit the ball right to the wall today in like right center. So looks like he's about to break out. He's got a little bit of a different mechanical approach, it looks like, to his swing too. So looks like he's hitting the ball with more authority. But even like, remember, this is just a spring. Like Aaron Judge isn't really doing much right now in the spring. But he's working on some things so that when the season comes, these guys can do what they need to do during the spring, during the season. So, and again, the pitchers are always ahead of the hitters. The hitters have to work on their timing. And the hitters and who also field, they both have to work on timing. The pitchers are working on mechanics, release points, and other things. So, it is what it is right now with these guys. So, but I'm not worried about Aaron Judge, really. I'm not really worried about Anthony Volpe. So I really like what I see with Cody Bellinger. I like what I see with Paul Goldschmidt. It's these other guys that make me wonder who's going to make the team, like Andrew Velasquez, Yorbit Vivas, Pablo Reyes, Ismael Winguia, right? This JC Escara. There's so many of these guys who could make the squad, and who would they boot off the team is the question. So I would not want to be. And Aaron Boone said today that after this, they're going to meet with the Brain Trust. They're going to figure out what this roster is going to essentially be pared down to. I wouldn't want to be a fly. Well, I would want to be a fly in that wall, but I wouldn't want to be part of that discussion. That's going to be. I think they're going to have to make some tough calls. So, any news on Mike Ladders? He threw today from flat ground. He had some back stiffness last week, since March 6th. But he threw on flat ground today, and it seemed everything worked okay. Jack. That's what I've heard on Mark Leiter Jr. If Volpe hits 250, I'll take that too. Yep. I think Volpe can put forth another 2020 season. Just like I think Dominguez can do the same thing. So, shoulder soreness, no surprise. No surprise after he threw. He's a little bit behind Clark Schmidt, so shoulder soreness is different than shoulder stiffness and stuff like that. So that's something to I'm not surprised that he is having shoulder soreness after the game. That was his first game in a while. He was behind, so unfortunately. But hopefully this is probably another reason why the Yankees are looking to add an arm. So, and I do expect them to probably add an arm. Who, I don't know. If it's Cease, it's Cease. If it's not, it's not. So, why do the Yankees play? That's a good question, Jonathan. I'm not sure. It generally is road team, and then Dodgers got shut out by the Japanese team today. So, I think one of these years they'll play in Japan. Now, from relievers, Tonkin is starting this year. And Mike Tonkin, no surprise. Well, just like other guys too, like Frankie Montez is starting the season in the IL with the Mets. So, and I think Sean Manaea is also starting the season on the IL. But at least his MRI came up clean. He's starting ramping up with pitching. So he'll be a couple of weeks behind Sean Manaea. So, Yorbit Vivas, yeah. Alcantara is a pitcher that I think a lot of folks want. Question is, how much is he going to cost? Right? What's the price? What are you willing to give up for Alcantara? Based on his pitching profile, and he's also coming back from Tommy John. So, what are you going to give up for him? Yeah, I think Smith will be fine. Dom Smith's another guy who could make the team on the bench. So, there's a couple of tough decisions that the Yankees have ahead of them that they're going to have to make that are going to be, unfortunate. or the winner. And that would be nuts, Browning, but I'll sign up for that too if they went over 100, man. Sign me up for that, baby. Yeah, I mean, Vivas is, he's one of these guys that are potentially hitting himself into the discussion here. Just like Pablo Reyes, Escara, like a lot of these guys, Miguel, they're hitting themselves into the discussion. Question is, are they going to hit enough to justify moving on from Peraza, moving on from Oswaldo, right? That's the question. That's the $1 million question that we don't know yet. So what are we, about 10 days from opening day? So Cookie, I think Cookie would make it, Jordy, even as part of the bullpen. And get some long relief. And last week he threw an outing, 2 days ago? He had 6 strikeouts. So, and he's a guy, he's back with Matt Blake. When he was at his best, he was with Matt Blake. So, I think he'll wind up making it. And Will Warren, obviously, I think is going to make it too. All right, enjoy, Bill-O. Enjoy, brother. Enjoy, man. Cookie over Warren and Warren being next. I think both of them might likely make it, Sean. Honestly, I think both of them likely make it. They'll just make they'll replace Cole and Hill most likely. That's my initial gut telling me that, Sean. But I gotta stay tuned. We'll see what the Yankees do over the next week and a half. They're actively looking to add, but like Cashman said too, it's really who's available. Right. On a spring breakout game. What do you mean, Mike? What do you mean the spring breakout game? Stanton, we heard he's back. The news on Stanton, he's back in camp, and the conservative estimate is around a little after Memorial Day that he comes back. So he just had his third PRP injection this past week, and he was also dealing with a calf strain too. So add that to his list of aches and pains. So yeah. Yeah, Cookie. That's a great the 12-step. It's a fantastic from Man of Honor. It's a great scene. And he makes it at ease and he sits there. Man, that was awesome. Yeah. You rather have Warren over Cookie. No, I get it. Warren does have electric stuff. And they have some arms in the pen that have electric stuff too. Which I still think is the Yankees have not solidified the last maybe 2 spots on the bench. And I don't really think they know who's going to be the 4 guys on the bench. Maybe they know 1 or 2 of them, but I think still, spring breaker. I don't know enough about it, Stephen B. All I heard is that Hess and Bryce Cunningham pitched well the last 2 days, particularly Bryce Cunningham yesterday. But I'll recap it and I'll get we'll go over that probably tomorrow, spring breaker game. So I want to look at it and see what I see. Yeah, what? That's the thing, right, Silver? We just don't know, and Cashman's not going to say who's available. No one else is too. So we'll just have to we'll see who they get, and Cashman has made a couple of end of spring training trades over the last couple of years. That's how we got Jose Trevino. That's how we got John Birdie. That's how I got some of these guys. So I could see him making a last-minute trade for somebody at the end of spring training. That's definitely something I can see. Definitely something I can see. Right? He's definitely, Susan. I think he's definitely keeping it close to the vest. 100%. LaGrange. Yeah. There you go, Graham. LaGrange. Yeah. They have. A lot of the Yankees' most promising prospects right now are in the lower levels of the farm, right? And as you know, like the Yankees farm takes a hit, or any team farm if you promote guys to the majors, your farm takes a hit, right? And they promoted Wells, they promoted Hill, they promoted Dominguez, Those are the last 3 guys that they promoted to the majors. That's a major hit to the farm. Ben Rice, another hit to the farm. So, and then you trade a bunch of guys where like they did last year for Soto, the farm takes a hit. So, but they had a strong draft last year. It sounds as if they're going to be aggressive this year in the draft too. So they will be in a position to kind of recoup some of that, recoup some of that ranking in the farms. So, but it is what it is. I think they're fine either way. So, but like all the guys that they drafted last year, they're all starting in A ball. So none of them are, they're not at Skeens level. They're going to start at Double A right out the gate and then be at the majors in no time. So, but they have some huge arms that they drafted last year, which really excites me. Yeah. And don't take a hit. Yeah, Ruck up. I mean, they draft extremely well. They develop really well. You look at their every year they have like 5 or 6 or 7 guys in the top 100. The Yankees are lucky to have 2, and then a good year 3. So, but you're right. When they promote a couple guys, the farm doesn't really take that much of a hit because there's so many guys on the freaking at the level that they draft at. Again, too, they're kind of Yankees boat, but they spend a lot internationally. They make a lot of shrewd trades. They bring in a lot of guys, but they just have a top-notch player development system. The Yankees have been getting better in player development, but they also draft at the bottom of the rounds every year. When you go to the playoffs every single year, you draft at the bottom. So, but yeah, young, cheap, cost-control players. Like if somehow Spencer Jones makes it up at some point, right? One of these guys makes it up. The farm will take a hit again. But that's okay. Because they keep drafting, they'll keep recouping. And these guys none of these guys, got to play rookie ball or anything last year. So there's no sample size of the guys that they drafted last year. There were 17 out of 20 were pitchers. There's really not much of a sample size for any of these guys. So we'll get a better idea of what their capabilities are in 2025. But yeah. Teams draft higher than the Yankees. And, it's hard to pick the cream of the crop when you're drafting low. You're not going to find, very, very rarely, I should say, you're going to find a Jackson Holiday type when you pick it in the 20s and 30s. The Yankees got lucky the year they drafted Aaron Judge. They drafted him in the comp rounds after the first round. And the reason why they did that is because they had an extra pick when Nick Swisher signed with the Cleveland Indians at the time. And they got a qualifying offer. So they got that draft pick they got was after the first round, turned into Aaron Judge. So thank you, Nick Swisher. Really. So, yeah, I mean, Judge hits 60. Can you imagine Judge hits 60 again? 70. Oh, my God. Oh. Yeah. Well, like one of my predictions yesterday was Cody Bellinger will be 30-plus home runs this year. Yep. So, and I think Lombard, I think he'll be a starting third baseman most likely in 2027. But he could play well enough to deserve a call-up next year. But he's still young. He's only 19. But, yeah, it's the thing, too. Like, a lot of folks, yeah, I mean, it's different. It really is different. I mean, the O's have a great play development, but the O's also pick. They had Jackson Holliday with the number 1 pick, right? Some of these other guys, Gunnar, I think he was a number 1 pick also. So they picked number 1 in the last decade probably 3 or 4 times. I don't remember the Yankees last time they picked number 1 was Brian Taylor. That was 30-plus years ago. It was the last time. The last time they had an individual draft pick in the top 10 was, I think, 1992. So, and that was when they drafted Derek Jeter. Just to put it in perspective. They picked him 6th. He was number 6 pick in the draft. Which is absolutely crazy. But, and we're also hearing that the Tampa Bay Rays are now not working on a new stadium now. So, who knows what they're going to do. They're going to try and stay where they're at, rebuild, and kind of stay where they're currently at. Well, not this year because they're playing in George Steinbrenner Field this year, but once the stadium gets a rehaul, an overhaul after the hurricane that happened that crushed it last year, it sounds like they're going to want to stay. So, have I made cross country videos on YouTube? I have a running channel. I have a whole running channel, top of the line running, cross country. If you're looking at cross country running, I've got boatloads of them on my running channel. So, I was a former professional runner. I've been coaching for the last 2 decades. I've got a ton of cross country videos. No, but player development is absolutely critical. You can't underestimate player development. But my running channel is top of the line running. That's my channel. You'll see a picture of Steve Prefontaine. That's my running channel. So, they pulled out of the St. Pete's Project. I saw it. Yeah. And we'll see. I mean, we'll see what they do, the Rays. We'll see what they do. First draft pick. It was supposed to be 29, but we dropped 10 picks after being over the Cohen threshold 2 years in a row. We dropped 10 picks in the draft. So for those that like to say Hal's cheap, not the case. No. But my guy, maybe they'll try to trade for a pick in the 70s or something like that. I could see them making a trade for a comp pick, which they would be wise to get one in the second round if they could, or right after the second round. Biggest name to get traded, might be Luis Robert, might be. Let's see, Dylan Cease, Luis Robert. Probably those two are the biggest names I think that could potentially be traded at the deadline. Yeah, it is. Our system is rated regularly for coaches and players. we get crushed in the Rule 5 draft too. We lose a lot of players in Rule 5. So our play development is, stronger than people think. Stronger than people think. Arenado, I'm not sleeping on Nolan Arenado yet. I think his price is going to drop. The Yankees just could pounce if they get a green light from. I don't think Vlad's going to get traded, Ken, at the deadline. And I see you coming to my neck of the woods, Ken. All right, man. Coming to my neck of the woods, my man. It's a good question, William. To get Cease, I honestly don't know what the price is going to be, but I know the Padres are going to, try to run a high price, obviously. But there's only 1 year of him, so. But it would still cost probably. Well, apparently they're looking for a first baseman, an outfielder, and a relief pitcher. We can afford to trade from all those positions. So the Yankees are supposed to get $15 million from the Tampa Bay Rays, so that they can use their facility this year. When I don't know when they get it. That's what I heard. So, yep. Yeah, Preller. Yeah, and there's a lot of good. Ooh, Spencer. I would not move Spencer Jones for Sandy Alcantara. He's coming off TJ. I would not. Spencer Jones is untouchable for me, but I would move Pereira, Lane. I would move someone else for Alcantara, but Spencer Jones is untouchable at least for me. So we'll see. Yeah, San Diego's a beautiful city. It's a beautiful place. Well, D-Rob is not going to really make up for losing Garrett Cole. So, my guess they're going to try to get a starting pitcher. And is D-Rod really an upgrade over what we have here now in the bullpen is the question. I don't know. Pereira, Rice, and Hamilton. Sports Talk is in the building. Pereira, Rice, and Hamilton. I don't know. I wonder if that would get it done. But Rice, I would love to keep. which I would offer, Rafael Flores if that's the case. He's another guy who plays catcher and first base in AAA. So, and he's a good looking bat too. Yeah, D-Rob just costs money. Yeah, but again, he'll cost whatever. It'll be double. But again, do they need him is the question. No, they don't. But yeah, you're right. It just costs money. And I just don't see him. I don't know if he's a fit here anymore, Dave Robinson. And who do they cut from the bullpen to make room for Dave Robertson is the question too. Right? Scar, I'm not sure, AJ, if I would trade him or not at this point. I'm not sure. He could be our legitimate backup catcher, but Alex Jackson is one guy I would consider. Lane Hess, Selvage. I would watch out for Bryce Cunningham too. He's another good one. Yeah. Mark Ladder Jr. Well, if he can't stay in the field, that doesn't help his trade value. Unfortunately, I wish it did, but it doesn't. No. But we'll see what happens there with Mark Ladder Jr. Get a rise to DH 271 against lefties. Yeah, I mean, are you allowed to cut a player for saying? Yes, you can. Yes, you can, Susan. You can cut a player even on the IL. They generally don't, but you can. But the cost for Dylan Cease would be high. For that, I have no doubt. Just like I think it would be high for Michael King. So it's going to be high no matter what. It really won't is. But those were the two games. They split one today. They lost against the Pirates. They won against the Rays. That's what I got for you, gang. So if King will be higher due to he costs less overall. He also has, I think, a mutual option for 2027. 2026. So that could add to his appeal and his trade value too. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know if the Padres are going to cut these guys now or trade them. They added Nick Pivetta, so I don't know. So my guess is the Padres might try to hang on to them, but the Yankees didn't stop the Yankees from inquiring, at least from the see. So, but I wouldn't move Jones or Lombard for Cease. Cease has 1 year of control left. Those guys haven't even started their service clocks yet. There's no way I would do that for Dylan Cease. But that's just me. So, Roki, May, and Gonsolin, I wouldn't do it, Jonathan. That's a hard pass for me. Yeah. Well, we got 6. What is that? Over 4,000 likes on TikTok. Wow. 4,000 hearts. Woo. Thank you, guys. Keep smacking a like button on YouTube, by the way, too. I appreciate you guys. I really do. But that's what we got. Well, the Marlins could be interested in Chase Hampton, but he just had Tommy John surgery a couple weeks ago, so I don't know if that changes their interest. But he's got one of the biggest arms in the farm. That's for sure. And they did lose Jesus Luzardo to the Phillies. And if they lose Alcantara, then there goes that too. Yuri Perez is supposed to come back from me. He's coming back from Tommy John. So Braxton Garrett, he'll be back as well as from injury too. So there are no, Weaver's going to be in the bullpen, Jordy. He'll definitely be in the bullpen. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't trade Judge. I'm glad they didn't trade Judge. So I really, really, really am glad. But really, Weaver's been, he's found his role in the pen now. He has. You combine it with Devin Williams, and it's been a fantastic back end of the bullpen. You look at the Yankees over the last couple of years. A lot of their majority of their games are won or lost in the 6th, 7th, and 8th, and 9th inning. Which is where we're going to need our bullpen to be the best. We're going to need a strong bottom part of the other lineup too. So the Yankees have that now as well. So have the Marlins they signed Cal Quantrill. I think that's it, to a small deal. That was all the spending they did. And that was like 2 weeks ago. Aside from that, the Marlins haven't done diddly squat in terms of spending money. Diddly squat. Yeah, apparently, yeah. Apparently, Clay Holmes is pitching well with the Mets right now. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But that's what I got for you, gang. If any news comes out, you'll get it. Promise you that. So go enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks so much for coming on. On the way out, keep tapping the screen on TikTok. Keep hitting the like buttons too. I greatly appreciate you. Peace and love. TikTok, let me sign you guys out. Catch you on the other side. All right. TikTok is over. All right, gang. So thank you guys for coming on too. The Marlins. Yeah, the Marlins. That's right. We'll see what the Marlins do. But I hope you enjoyed the predictions too, yesterday and today. If you find yourself enjoying it, hit that like button. Really greatly appreciate it. So, Elaine Selvage. Yeah, I hear that, William. I hear that. I will definitely send out the press for your mom's rock up. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Sorry to hear it, rock up, but yeah, definitely sending witches and prayers. 100%, my friend. 100%. The Marlins, yeah. The Savannah, did they really win the Savannah that I sold out? Oh my goodness gracious. But go enjoy the rest of your weekend, gang. Appreciate you as always. You're the best. Love you guys. Peace and love. See you next time. Go Yankees.